I was trying to edit a 4K video on my old iPad and it literally started smoking. Not kidding. And then Apple dropped the first M5 iPad Pro leaks. Let me tell you folks, this thing might just be the reason I don't burn down my apartment in 2025. Hey, it's your gadget-obsessed bestie back with another deep dive into the world of tech that either changes lives or makes us question our life choices. So yeah, I've been obsessively tracking the iPad Pro M5 rumors because apparently I can't sleep until I know if Apple's finally going to make an iPad that doesn't overheat when I open 3 Chrome tabs. You ever had one of those moments where you're like, wait, is this device even real? Well, strap in because today we're diving into the wildest leaks, the most ridiculous upgrades, and why Apple might be turning the iPad Pro into a literal pocket-sized Mac on steroids. Let's start with the real talk. Using last-gen iPads for heavy-duty tasks? Wildly frustrating. I remember trying to render a video on my old iPad while streaming Netflix, FaceTiming my mom, and editing photos. And guess what? The fan kicked in on an iPad. What even is this madness? My tablet basically turned into a space heater. And don't get me started on storage. Trying to work on 256 gigabytes feels like trying to fit a wardrobe into a shoebox. You end up deleting half your stuff, only to realize the most important file was the one you trashed at 3 a.m. after 6 coffees. Anyway, after hours of rage scrolling Reddit and whispering sweet nothings to Google like, please give me something better, I stumbled across some insane leaks about the upcoming iPad Pro M5. Now, before you roll your eyes, yes, this is all unconfirmed, but here's the kicker. These leaks are coming from places that were spot on about the M4 iPad. So unless they're psychic or secretly working in Cupertino, this could actually be legit. And let me tell you, the rumored upgrades, they're so wild, they almost feel like April Fool's jokes, but in May. Now, obviously, I don't have the iPad Pro M5 in my hands yet, unless you count dreaming about it while I charge my current one next to a fan. But based on everything we do know, including what Apple already pulled off with the M4, this thing might just be the closest thing we'll ever get to Tony Stark's tablet in Iron Man. Here's the deal. The M4 iPad Pro already blew minds with its OLED display, ultra-thin design, and performance that made laptops cry. Now imagine Apple saying, hold my AirPods and upgrading it with Thunderbolt 5 more RAM and a GPU so beefy it could probably mine Bitcoin while rendering Pixar-level animations. But wait, it gets even crazier. Alright, let's break this down like we're dissecting a TikTok trend. Here's what we're supposedly getting with the iPad Pro M5. The chipset, M5 baby. Apple's cooking up the brand new M5 chip, which, according to sources, claim is already in production. Rumor has it, the CPU will stay similar to the M4, 10-core CPU, but the GPU, that's jumping to 12 cores for the first time ever. Translation, graphics power goes through the roof. We're talking about 35% faster GPU and 15% faster CPU, and AI engine improvements by around 50%. Basically, this thing might start writing emails for you by 2026. The display, still insanely good. The tandem OLED display isn't going anywhere. And honestly, why would it? It's still the best screen Apple's ever put in a portable device, brighter than your hopes and dreams after a breakup and thinner than a celebrity ego. Thunderbolt 5? Oh yeah. This is huge. The USB-C port is getting upgraded to Thunderbolt 5, capable of transferring data at 120 gigabytes per second. That means you could download a full 4K movie in less time than it takes to say, why does my iPad keep crashing? Storage upgrade, fingers crossed. Currently, the base model gives you 256 gigabytes, which as we discussed earlier is barely enough to hold your music playlist and a few cat videos. But there's hope. Apple might bump the base storage to 512 gigabytes and possibly offer 4 terabytes options for the creatives who treat their iPad like a studio. Imagine editing a feature film on your couch without breaking a sweat, or accidentally deleting a 2-hour render and still having space to recover it. That's the dream, people. Magic keyboard and design. Same look, new guts. Yep, looks like the sleek, ultra-thin design is staying for at least a couple more generations. No radical redesigns in sight. Just a possible new color drop. Looking at you, space gray fans. The Magic Keyboard, still compatible, still awkward to carry around like a transformer in your backpack. But hey, at least you can pretend you're in a hacker movie now. Alright, let's take a brutally honest look at what's good, what's bad, and what made me laugh out loud in the middle of a Zoom call. The good. Blazing fast GPU. Perfect for creators, gamers, and anyone who wants their iPad to stop lagging during a TikTok dance-off. Thunderbolt 5. Finally, a port that doesn't feel like it's stuck in 2015. Improved AI engine. Maybe it'll write my scripts someday. Until then, I'll settle for autocorrecting my worst typos. The bad. Same design for years. I'm not mad, just slightly disappointed. Where's my foldable iPad, my holographic keyboard? Still limited multitasking. Sure, you can run Final Draft and Photoshop at once, but try doing that while watching Netflix and replying to emails. And suddenly your iPad becomes your ex's Instagram page. Slow, glitchy, and emotionally draining. The hilarious. Base model storage. 512 gigabytes might sound like a lot until you're editing 8K footage and realize your iPad is judging your life choices. Price tag. $900 to $99 for the 11-inch. More like $999 for the privilege of pretending it's a laptop. So, would I bet my Wi-Fi password on the iPad Pro M5 being worth the hype? 1000% yes. If you're a creator, designer, or someone who needs insane performance in a lightweight package, this thing is going to be a beast. Even if it's not radically different from the M4, the incremental gains, especially in GPU and connectivity, make this a solid upgrade for pros. For casual users, probably wait unless you're dying for Thunderbolt 5 or need that extra oomph for your side hustle turned startup. But either way, this iPad is definitely going to make waves. And maybe, just maybe, save my apartment from spontaneous combustion. See you next one. Peace out. Alright friends, if you've ever rage quit an app at 3 a.m. because your iPad crashed, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell so you never miss a tech drop again. Next week, we're diving into a mystery gadget that could change everything. Spoiler alert, it's round, it's white, and it may or may not belong to a certain billionaire genius. Until then, stay curious, stay powered, and please don't delete anything important at 2 a.m. Trust me. Wait, no, do it anyway. Just don't blame me when your iPad becomes sentient. Peace out.